a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And thank you so much for joining us. Greatly appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Of course, we would love to talk to you. Daniel Weekley back in studio with us. Kimberly Linville as well back in studio with us. GTE Financial in the house. We're going to talk about real estate loans, mortgage loans, a lot of different opportunities there. Ray Hall also in studio with us, our expert contributor for all things valuations. Ray Hall Appraisals coming up on the second half of today's show. And I want to give a quick shout out to my massage therapist. Stress is such a deadly killer these days. 4 years ago, I had a double bypass heart surgery. So I'm really taking my health serious. And I think you should too. Divine Balance Alternative Healing is who you want to talk to. Talk to Christina. She is a awesome massage therapist. She cares. They have a lot of enhancements that they can add on. Hot towels, hot stones, premium essential oils, facial steams, reflexology, and more. I go in, I get a 90-minute each week, and I think you should too. Reach out to Christina. DivineBalanceAlternativeHealing.com, location right here in Palm Harbor, Pinellas County. DivineBalanceAlternativeHealing.com. Make sure you let her know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, a couple of hot listings here for this segment. We really like to feature our real estate properties on air. Our strategy helps us sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure on the sale of our real estate. 7325 Skybird Road. This one's in Bradenton, Manatee County, Skybird Road, Bradenton, Florida. You got a beautiful community pool. It's a lagoon-style pool at Skybird Road in Bradenton. This one's 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1-car garage, open floor plan, remodeled within the last year. You have lots of updates and upgrades here at Skybird Road, number 399 in Bradenton, Florida. You have an 81-foot style heated pool, community pool, clubhouse, fitness center, catering, kitchen, and more in your close proximity to Gulf beaches, the downtown Riverwalk, dining, and more. Check out Skybird Road and see our listings. All right, another one at 8333 New York Avenue in Hudson. This one on New York Avenue in Hudson, we actually have 3 listings on New York Avenue, incidentally, right now in Pasco County. But this one is a great investment opportunity, bringing in around $6,000 a month in income from the 3 rental properties. And you also have additional land that you could maybe build additional units, maybe create self-storage, park boats, park RVs, etc. 8333 New York Avenue in Hudson, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Daniel Weekley back in studio. Welcome back in, sir.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Kimberly Linville, pleasure to see you again. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And let's jump right into it. So we talk a lot about real estate on the show. We talk about consumer advocacy. So, Dan, you've been on several times now. And can you tell our listeners about GTE and what you do for the members and the community?
Definitely. I would love to. I'm very proud. We're both Kim and I are very, very proud to work for GTE. We really take a lot of pride at GTE Financial, take a lot of pride in the philanthropy that we do for the community. It's a huge part of who we are. We love giving back to the community. We take a lot of pride also in our product line, what we're able to do for our members. We offer everything from, regular checking accounts all the way up to business loans for small business owners that are looking for commercial real estate, things like that. We also help first-time home buyers. So our product line is very diverse.
Auto loans?
Yep, we do a lot of auto loans, commercial auto loans and regular auto loans. So we do a lot of different things. Our biggest thing that we're proud of right now is that we are about to hit our 100-year anniversary in the Tampa Bay area, so that's huge for us. We've also been voted the number 1 place to work in Tampa Bay 4 years in a row. I believe it's 4 years. Definitely looking for a 5th. So that helps greatly. And when it comes to our employee retention, and it also helps because when our members are calling us, when the community is reaching out to GTE Financial, you're reaching out to people, you're reaching out to your neighbors because everybody's right here in the Tampa Bay area that works for us.
Yeah.
So every department we have, it's all local, and it's fantastic.
I love it.
It's great.
I love it. Support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. All of our expert contributors all can be found at consumerqb.com. We really appreciate you supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. All right, so Kim, you hear a lot about these USDA loans and Hometown Hero loans, especially when it comes to helping first-time buyers. What do you have in that space?
Yeah, so GTE is a little bit different. As the USDA, it restricts you. You can only purchase within certain areas. Hometown Hero, it restricts you as far as what if they run out of funds. So GTE has a product that's always there. We've had this product for so many years, and it works similar to those other programs. It is a down payment assistance in-house that allows you to finance in the down payment and the closing cost. So it really helps those people that think it's impossible. It helps them get into homes without the worry of, I need to make sure I purchase here or there. I can't purchase right there. Or without the worry of, I better do it right now before those funds run out, and then the stress of it potentially happening.
Now, is that 100% financing? Is that what you're referring to? Because when you think USDA, right, I think a lot of times people think 100% financing,
right.
But you're referring to the certain areas that are specified or deemed as rural. Mm-hmm. So you're saying with your institution, GTE Financial, you don't have to really worry about that.
Right. The purchase area is the state of Florida.
There you
so
go.
I mean that's our limits.
Good.
But yeah, we do have 100% financing product. But what I'm speaking of financing in the closing costs as well, we can go potentially up to 5% over the purchase price to cover the closing cost, reserves, that kind of stuff. So
now, do I have to be
better.
a doctor or a professional to get those types of loans?
We do have a medical professional. If you want to see our last segment that we did, we really went into detail on that. Yeah. But this program is open to any profession.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you're retired. It's open to the
So say
public.
that again then. I want to make sure everybody gets this point. You're saying you can go above 100% financing for the average layperson that's a contractor, W-2 employee, et cetera?
Right. Self-employed, W-2, retired, doesn't matter. Any profession, it's open to. And being that we are a credit union, we do ask that you have a membership with us. Right. But in order to apply and get your pre-qualification, you don't have to be a member. We're open, so give us a call, and if upon pre-qualification, we can always open that membership, and then it opens you up to all the other awesome products that we have.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. What are some of the misconceptions that buyers and agents have about your products, about some of your products?
I think just that it's not possible, that it doesn't exist, that it's not out there. It's almost like it's too good to be true. Kind of watch what you do, but and I hear that a lot from members when I'm talking to them and telling them about this product. I've had people crying over the phone. I just thought this other lender told me it's not possible.
Right.
And we're able to deliver, and it's such a good feeling. That's
one of the worst things I've heard, on this show over the years is I hear from, for example, we have Derek Coble, who's a public adjuster, right? A lot of people don't even know what public adjusters do, right? But when you have these professionals that are kind of these know-it-all, wannabe type, egotistical type people, so in his instance, he had there was a storm event, there was a hurricane storm type event. And this borrower, this citizen, this potential show listener was told by his insurance broker, "Oh, you can't hire a public adjuster. You can't do that." Right? It's almost like telling somebody you can't hire an attorney to sue this or that. Right? So when I hear the bad advice, and that's again going back to the roots of this show, is like from a consumer advocate standpoint. When I hear professionals either doing that, or you will also have it from another side. Let's use the financial advisor, for example. A lot of the financial advisors are not fiduciaries, right? So they don't even have to put your interest as the client ahead of their interest. They can sell you a product that they make more money on, more commission on, right? So that's why we started this Consumer Quarterback Show almost 11 years ago now, to sort through a lot of the nonsense to help people avoid the commission-based advice. So that's another great example, Kim, is that here you have programs that 100% financing, even a 105% financing, and other mortgage broker or whoever's telling your potential client, like, oh, no, that's not possible. There's no way. They can't do that. They don't know what they don't know, and then they're spreading these bad rumors.
Exactly, yeah, and it's harming people because then now they're stuck in that rent cycle because they think it's impossible.
Yeah.
So it's good that you have the show to get the word out there, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, talk to me about renters, because that's one that I'm really beating the drum on right now. It's just renters. If you're renting year after year, decade after decade, throwing money away towards rent, you're missing out on a lot of opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's really what GTE is all about. We want to reach those renters. And I like to say a lot is, why would you pay 100% interest rate?
Yeah.
People are so tied up in what the rate market is right now, but you're okay paying 100% because that's what rent is.
Exactly.
You're not building any equity. You don't own anything at the end of the day, and they can kick you out, you know, after your lease, and you have to go find something else or raise it whenever they want. So we really want people to be homeowners, to feel empowered, and be able to make their dreams come true. And that's why we have created the products that we've created, this 100% financing, 105, the medical professional. All of these are for primary residents because we want you to own a home. We want Tampa Bay area to be homeowners.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Dan, you want to add something?
Just to piggyback off of that, it is our mission at GTE to get in front of every single renter that we have in the Tampa Bay area. We want every single renter to be informed because we do believe that a large number of people who are renting, they're renting because they don't know. They don't know that there's options out there. They don't know that they can have 100% financing. They don't know that they can own a home in the next 60 days. They don't understand the process, and maybe they've gotten some bad advice from a realtor or maybe from family member, so they feel they're stuck in a cycle. And our goal, our mission at GTE is to get in front of them and to educate them and help them get into their home.
Yeah.
So I do believe that's the majority of our renters, that they just don't know.
Yeah, they don't know what they don't know, and then unfortunately they get advice from the wrong people that don't know, and it's a perpetual self-fulfilling prophecy in a lot of cases. And another thing, here's what happens on the real estate side. So when you're on the real estate side and you hear the rates and you hear the challenges, right? What you're able to do right now is, as a buyer, or let's say a renter going in to be a buyer for the first time, is you're able to negotiate some very preferable, some very favorable terms. You're able to get seller concessions. You're able to get all types of different great loan programs available as well. Talk to me about that. Have you seen some of those scenarios play out?
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, this market, there's a lot of negotiations happening. The contracts I'm seeing, a great deal amount off of the purchase price, contribution to closing costs, which is nice. And in our 105% financing program, if you do get that contribution to closing costs, that's wonderful. That just means less that we have to finance on that second loan, because that program, it works to conventional financing. It is a first mortgage that you have, whether it's 97 or 95%, looks like we're financing for a loan to value. It looks like you're putting 3% down, 5% down. To the seller, it looks that way. And then the second loan, we finance in that difference. So that second loan that we would finance in that difference, it gets to be less. So the more you can negotiate, right now is the time to do so, because their sellers are starting to get that realization that they're not going to get what it was 2 years ago.
Yep. Days on market are up. The inventory is starting to creep up. So we're shifting right now towards that buyer's market. It's pretty close to a balanced market right now.
Yeah,
if you look at the stats.
So.
Yeah, very close to a balanced market. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk more with Daniel Weekley, Kimberly Linville, GTE Financial here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Later on, Ray Hall Appraisals coming up as well. Feel-good story of the day, your daily injection of positivity. We've got a grandma that completes terrifying 29-mile swim through shark-infested waters to break a record. Feel-good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back in studio here, coming up more with GTE Financial, expert contributors here on the show. A couple of hot listings here, 232 Hardcastle Place, Valrico. We got a great opportunity for this would be perfect for those renters that we're talking about. This is kind of an entry-level price point, 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath bonus room, and 1560 square feet, Valrico, Florida, 232 Hardcastle Place. Community pool. You have granite countertops inside, screen lanai with storage room. Primary has a walk-in closet ensuite as well. Close proximity to Highway 60. Easy access to malls, shopping, dining, and entertainment. Hardcastle Place, Valrico, another one of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team. 5601 Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey. Another Pasco beauty here. We got a great opportunity for you on Blackfin Drive. This one's 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1-car garage, 1710 square feet, 3-story townhome. 5601 Blackfin Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. You have a gorgeous kitchen, stainless steel appliances, plenty of closet space as well. 2 community pools, fitness center, private dog park, beach access through the membership as well. And, of course, downtown Newport Richey's charm. Plethora of shopping and dining options are just minutes away. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Quick shout out to our friends at Discovery Golf Cars. Discovery Golf Cars, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. You can check them out online, discoverygolfcars.com. They have new and used. They have the Easy Go Star EV Cushman. And discoverygolfcars.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, we're in studio here. We got Daniel Weekley in the house, GTE Financial, and Kimberly Linville as well. And we're talking about real estate, mortgage, credit, the different areas of real estate. And Kim, a lot of times with these programs, is it strictly, a lot of times people wonder, is this strictly for a first-time home buyer, or can anyone use these types of programs?
Yeah, so that's kind of a lot what we've been talking about today. GTE is focused on home ownership, and so we do want you to be for a primary residence. It doesn't have to be a first-time home buyer, though. It could be, you might have owned 10 homes in the past, and that's totally okay. We just ask that it's for your primary residence, and if you are currently in a home, have that home sold before getting into the next one. But you can own rental properties if you want. You can own a second home already. Doesn't matter. We just want it to be your primary home. Okay.
Do you have investor loans too?
We do. Yeah, okay. We do the normal investment products as well for if you want to build your rental portfolio. Portfolio. Excuse me.
Yeah. Portfolio. Rental, and we talk a lot about cash flow. When you look at cash flow and you look at the opportunity, you can still cash flow. I was on another radio show the other day on 102.5 The Bone, and he says, well, I'm going to disagree with you there. You're not seeing cash flow like you were before. I said, yeah, of course, the cash flow is going to be down a little bit, but any kind of positive cash flow, and we'll talk with Ray in the next segment, but Ray, I'm sure, will attest that over time, when you're holding those properties, even if you're cash flowing a little bit, even if it's $150 a month, over time you're building up appreciation. You have the tax advantages, and you have a small amount of cash flow, and each pocket's going to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would
always smart to invest in real estate.
That's it.
Always.
All right. So is this product only for those that need help with the down payments? We were talking about that product earlier with the down payment.
Yeah. So that was the original intention with GTE is to help. We know that it's hard to save up that much money for a down payment plus the closing costs and reserves. So that was the intention. And actually through the increase in market in 2020, 2021, we were seeing a lot of people use this in different ways, which was pretty cool. And one of the ways was the appraisal. A lot of times the appraisal was coming in just a little bit under what they wanted to purchase. Maybe they had the funds for a down payment, but they really wanted this home. So they were able to use the funds they had saved for that gap of what the appraisal came in and the purchase price, so that way they could still get into the home and then use our product for the down payment and other the closing costs and such. So they were able to finance 105% of the appraisal amount, and their down payment covered that gap in difference. And then it's also, people have used it now for remodels. Maybe they have enough money saved up, or they have some money saved up, but the house they're wanting at their budget that they can afford, it needs some work. Yeah. So use our product to get into the home and save that money you have, so you don't have to take out high interest rate credit cards or loans to fix up the house. This is a much more cost-effective option for borrowers to be able to do updates to their home, moving expenses, just having a safety net in your savings account. You don't have to necessarily use it. So even if you don't necessarily need the funds, it's good to just have, because again, it's a much more cost-effective option to be able to have that cash on hand for other items.
Yeah, keep the cash in your bank account. Use other people's money, right? OPM,
right.
Other people's money.
Yeah.
Right. So a couple minutes left. Dan, I wanted to shift back to you as well. Some of the products sound pretty amazing in the ways that you can get into homes with less money out of pocket. What are some key things that our listening audience should know before they call in?
Well, one, just call us. If you're thinking about purchasing a home in the next 12 to 18 months, call us. Let us be part of that plan. That's what GTE wants to do. We want to be part of that home buying plan that you're setting for you and your family. So we want you to give us a call. We will help walk you through the steps. And a lot of people, they attempt to have this plan on their own of maybe 12 months from now, I want to own a home. They don't realize they can do it sooner. Right. We're there to help them through those steps. I think the other big thing that I want to make everybody aware of is for our listeners is it's not just for you. It can be for part of your church, if you're employees, we can come out. We can do the same lecture that we do here on your show and go over the benefits of homeownership.
There you go. Yeah, group speaking, public speaking. That's awesome. I love those opportunities as well. Reach out to the show. We'd love to put you in touch with Dan and Kim, GTE Financial. Reach out to the hotline at 727-263-3707. You can call or text 727-263-3707. Of course, online at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to their information. Kim, I wanted to ask you one quick question, about 30 seconds left. If somebody comes to you and they have a little bit of issue with credit or some different minor things that they can take care of, do you help them with that credit improvement there? Yeah,
absolutely. And that's kind of what Dan is speaking with. Have that 12, 18 month in your head that you think it's not possible. I need so much time. Yep. Come to us beforehand, because Dan will sit down with you and say, you can work on this in your credit, and let's check back. Let's monitor and check back and put you on a timeline. And we have those products. Yeah. We have credit builder loans. We have secure credit cards. We have options to get your credit higher.
Yeah, because a lot of times there's fraud. There's stuff out that happens, and stuff shows up on your credit. You're like, oh, wow, I waited to the last minute. Too late. Mm-hmm. Can't do that. You got to plan ahead. Dan, Weekley, Kimberly, Linville, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
GTE Financial, folks. Support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and our expert contributors. Coming up, Ray Hall Appraisals on the show, as well as our feel-good story of the day. Grandma completes terrifying 29-mile swim through shark-infested waters to break a record. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team, always helping our sellers sell faster for more money. If you're thinking about selling a property, we would love to talk to you. You can reach out to the show hotline, of course. And we got Ray Hall in house, Ray Hall in studio with us, Ray Hall Appraisals. We're going to talk about some tips on when you're preparing for an appraisal and also to get into some development. We'll talk residential, commercial, and vacant land appraisals because each are different product types as well coming up here on the program. And I want to give a shout out to our friends at sat123.com. Satellite phones, they are in demand right now. If you haven't heard, sat123.com/REQB. We are in an election year. Anything could happen. Lots of talks out there about EMPs and potential for terrorist attacks, open southern border. Sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback. Check them out online. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, a couple of hot listings here. We always feature our listings on air. We got a good one here at 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South, St. Petersburg. 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South, St. Petersburg. We've got a Pinellas County property here. Owner is motivated, looking for offers on this property at 2790 Pinellas Point Drive. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2236 square foot. Culinary enthusiasts will delight in the fully renovated kitchen. You have an open floor plan. You're just a short drive away from the award-winning beaches and dolphin-filled waters of Pinellas County. Beautifully landscaped as well, and practical features like solar panels to reduce your electrical cost as well. Check out 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South, St. Petersburg, Florida. All right, another one here at 7919 New York Avenue in Hudson. We've got another Hudson Avenue property, New York Avenue property, that is. I've got 3 listings on New York Avenue, so we'd love to talk to you about that. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1282 square feet. This one's zoned C1 per Pasco County Public Records. We'll ask Ray what zoning C1 means as well here. Dedicated business office, making it ideal for entrepreneurs who want the convenience of working from home. So kind of a mixed use opportunity here. Ray, I want to bring you in here on this one, actually. Sure, 7919 New York Avenue, Hudson. So it looks like it's a versatile commercial property that can also double as a comfortable residence. What do you think when you see C1 records there?
Well, I would have to look that up to be for sure, but a C1 is probably a low-intensity commercial zoning, so likely it allows things like offices and office use.
Yep.
It might not allow retail uses or maybe an industrial, but you've seen it in a lot of communities as time goes on. Sometimes houses on those roadways become offices.
Yeah, exactly.
Very common, and that's probably the transition that's going on in that area. So, kind of an interesting thing because we wouldn't look at that necessarily maybe as residential. We want to look at that commercial potential on a property like that. And, really that's a great property for someone to look at for investment purposes.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't want to buy it for the house, you can easily kind of do the renovations, transition it into an office, and then now you're selling it at commercial prices, not residential, and that's a whole different other game, but definitely more opportunity for a buyer with that house because of that zoning.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And you may find a tenant that may pay your mortgage. I mean, there could be some opportunities
absolutely. You may even have multifamily potential with that. If it's a big enough property, you may be able to put on a small attachment or even redevelop into a multifamily property. And take advantage of that.
Yeah, yesterday, a couple of days ago, I was at a listing appointment, and I drove by. I was driving by one piece of land to go to the subject property, and it was kind of at the end of this industrial lot, or industrial with some, pretty major businesses on each side, something probably more zoning like an industrial, maybe even a high-intensity use, or because there were some different businesses. But we drove by this one lot, and I just thought, I had to laugh to myself because it was interesting. It was a vacant lot, maybe just call it a couple of acres, and the owner had put together a bunch of little camper trailers. So he had almost like a makeshift RV park there, and he put a bunch of camper trailers, and you could see how the water was coming out, and it had it split off in all these different directions. But it looked to me like he had, I don't know if that was permitted or not, But it's kind of interesting. He's got all these income. He's probably renting those out for at least $1,000 a month.
Oh yeah, I've seen people put one of those campers in their front yard and use it as an Airbnb.
Wow,
I saw that in St. Petersburg.
Did you?
You know, and they kind of have you because, hey, this isn't an additional unit I'm renting out. This is a camper in the front yard.
Yeah,
and they had it all plumbed in and connected.
Yep.
And that's what they were doing. So,
yeah.
You know.
I got a friend that does that, too.
See?
She owns a place in St. Pete, and she actually moved to Hawaii. She's living in Hawaii right now.
Nice.
But she has that exact setup, what you just said.
Absolutely. And, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, you can find income in your home if you really want to and you really look for it. You know, I've been doing this almost 20 years, and, you know, I've seen some pretty interesting things out there, and you know, and people are still finding new things to do and great ways to make money on their real estate.
Now, what's the counter argument to that? We're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm Brandon Rhymes. What's the counter argument at? Are some of the municipalities saying, "Hey, we're trying to pump the brakes here"?
Absolutely. You know, I know Clearwater Beach, Clearwater is pretty strict on that. Now, you can have an Airbnb out in Clearwater Beach, but you have to have what they call, I believe it's called a tourist zoning. So it has to be a particular zoning. Then you can have that kind of a rental agreement.
Yep.
You know, so it all depends on the area. You know, I know down in maybe southern Pinellas County, some of the areas have a lot of the Airbnbs, and they don't seem to be getting a hard time from the local municipalities. So I would say if you're going into a property for the purpose of short-term rentals, find out what the local laws are.
Oh, yeah.
Don't just buy a property thinking you're going to be able to do it, because I've known of people doing it within city limits of certain cities, and them getting a letter from the municipality saying you can't do this and we're going to fine you.
Yep.
Another example, I have investment properties in a condominium in North Tampa. Our property manager specifically goes on the short-term rental sites looking for short-term rentals in our development because they're not allowed to have them.
Yeah.
And we've caught them and told them you can't do that.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Know what you're getting into.
Don't buy a property with the assumption that you could do it. You got to make sure you can do it.
When it comes to real estate, never assume. Don't assume it's in good condition. Don't assume you know the zoning, and don't assume you know what the laws are.
Yeah.
Get a professional and find out everything for sure.
That's right. Now, we got a couple listings now. Also, I've got about 60 current listings. We carry about 60 listings at any given time. Vacant land, residential, and commercial properties. But a couple that come to mind have solar on the rooftop.
Okay.
Now, talk to me about that from an appraisal standpoint, because a lot of times there's pros and cons there.
Yep, there is. When we appraise a property and it has a feature that has the possibility of having value, what I have to do is I now have to find sales with that feature. So if I have a house with solar panels, I have to find comparable sales with solar panels. Now I have to put that in a grid. I have to make adjustments for all the differences, and I basically have to show that that property sold for more money than the properties without a solar panel. And that's how I warrant I support the value of the solar panels. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I've done small mobile homes where for whatever reason they wanted solar, even though their power bill probably wasn't that high. And I couldn't support an adjustment.
Now, the ones that you have supported an adjustment with, is it nominal? Is it 10 grand, 15, 20 grand?
It depends on the area, really.
Yeah.
Like everything else, I'm sure you've seen it, it's just neighborhood. I've done, I think, up to 20, 30,000, 10,000, and I've done it where I just can't support anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as appraisers, we can't just make a number up.
Yeah. Sure.
Even though a government entity wanted me to once, but I can't just make up a number and slap it on there.
Yeah.
I have to support it. I have to have a reason for it.
And you're following guidelines.
Yes.
That's, a lot of people don't realize, there's guidelines there. You have certain proximity, you have certain square footage limitations. Don't you have to bracket as well?
Yes. Now, so my base limitations are what's called USPAP, Uniform Standard of Professional Appraisal Practice, which basically says I can't lie.
Right.
And
ethical.
Right.
Ethical.
Right.
Yep.
Then from there, I have the lender guidelines. And a lot of times I have Fannie Mae guidelines. And then I have all sorts of, and then sometimes the underwriter just says, hey, explain this to me.
Yeah.
So there's so many different, people with their hand in the pot that want me to do something.
Yeah.
So Fannie Mae likes us to bracket, lenders like us to bracket because it's just better support for what we're doing value wise and adjustment wise.
Yeah.
Because if I just find houses that are all smaller than your house and make huge adjustments for gross living area, who's to say I'm right?
Right.
You don't know I'm right unless I have that bracketing done, which it's a little complicated to explain it to everybody here.
Yeah.
But, we do have a lot, especially ever since 2007. There's just so much more in the process of appraising. It's not as cut and dry as it used to be.
Yeah. What do you mean 2007?
Ever
I'm
since.
just kidding. The mortgage meltdown.
Yep.
So Ray, the bracketing is something just kind of a generic. Is this an easy way to explain it generically? Like if your home's 1,800 square feet, I want to, as an appraiser, try to find one that's 1,900 square feet and one that's 1,700 square feet.
Yep. And
ideally, right?
Yes. So even in more general terms, here's your house. I want to find something better. I want to find something worse.
Yep.
And then I want to meet in the middle.
There you go.
And that's basically how that works. Sometimes I can't meet in the middle.
Yep.
I don't know if you heard about the most expensive condo purchased in Tampa a few months ago.
Okay.
The $8 million one.
Sounds familiar.
Well, I just did one that surpasses that. So
nice. What's your highest price building or residential unit?
Residential.
Yeah.
It might be this one I recently did. That was it came out to around $15 million.
$15 million? Was that in Tampa?
It was.
Nice. $15 million.
Highest property ever was agricultural.
Nice.
Out in, is it pronounced Florida?
Is that the one in the Orange Grove you did?
Big Citrus Grove.
Yeah.
That was and this is going back decades.
Yeah.
Probably almost 20 years ago. It was $120 million.
Nice. Some acreage out in like Polk area or out west?
No, this was south of Polk.
Nice.
Basically
Highlands County.
Yeah, something. It was basically a citrus grove like the size of Wesley Chapel. I mean, it was huge.
Yeah.
So
a lot of my buddies growing up, they were Orange Grove, tomato farms, veggies,
and this was one
cattle.
This was one of the rare, like, really producing groves. I mean, I had to drive through a wash station. I had to walk through a wash station. They were very protective of it.
Yeah.
So it was really a great learning experience for me. I loved it.
They were protective like that before COVID, right? Spray you down before you come into the building next time. Who knows what they're going to do?
Maybe that's why I wasn't impacted that much by it.
Yeah. All right. We're talking with Ray Hall. Ray Hall Appraisals. Reach out if you'd like to talk to Ray. If you have any questions around appraisal, real estate, values. I want to ask him some other questions on the flip side here, too. Reach out to the hotline, 727-263-3707. I want to ask him about the market, where he sees the market. Are home values depreciating in Tampa Bay? Are they going up? What are we looking at as far as averages? 727-263-3707. Call or text that hotline. We'll put you in touch with Ray Hall. Coming up more with Ray. Also, our feel-good story of the day. We've got a grandma that completes terrifying 29-mile swim through shark-infested waters to break a record. Coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you sell your listings faster for more money, maximum exposure, leading to maximum profit here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings. Then we're going to go back into our conversation with Ray Hall. Ray Hall Appraisals here in Tampa Bay. We got a property at 18522 Gulf Boulevard. This one's right on the beach. I love this listing. It's $1 million listing of mine right here in Tampa Bay. Indian Shores, unit number F. It's Gulf Boulevard, unit F at 18522 Gulf Boulevard. 3-bedroom, 3-bath. 2,000 square feet on the beach, sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters. You can short-term rent this out, and it's only $250 per month as a HOA fee. Super awesome opportunity right here on Gulf Boulevard in Indian Shores, Pinellas County. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. 5642 Egrets Place, Newport Richey. Another beautiful listing in Newport Richey. This is a gorgeous home, one of my favorites. 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath. 2967 square feet, quarter-acre lot. You have an elevator inside the home, a private pool, heated pool with a waterfall, multiple balconies, and you got a water view across the street looking at a canal leading out to the Gulf of Mexico. 5642 Egrets Place, Newport Richey. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right, feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, we got a feel-good story here. We got a grandma that completes terrifying 29-mile swim through shark-infested waters to break a record. A grandmother's defied her age and weight by becoming the first woman to swim from San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge to the Farallon Islands, a distance darn near 30 miles. She's a former collegiate swimmer. She had not done much swimming in 24 years, but she decided to brave the waters, the sharks, the jellyfish, all without a wetsuit. So Amy Gusper leapt into the waters and around her support vessel around 3:27 a.m. So a lot of people, we talked about off air too, the one from Cuba that swam to the Key West, I think it was. A lot of times they have a support vessel right there. Of course, I always wondered that, like, are they just free swimming or how do they? So they have a support vessel. She's getting food as she's swimming. They're giving her soups and things like that. They are battling, the elements, of course. But she said she goes into a meditative state and broken up every 30 minutes by snack breaks. So I had a really hard time. She's quoted as saying, I had a really hard time to be very thoughtful and careful about how I approach this swim because of the shark, she explained. And April and May and June is when a very big migration of great white sharks take place from the Farallon Islands. That's why the swim had to take place during that time frame. All right, there you have it. Feel good story of the day. I guess the thought there is, hey, any age, just go out and break the barriers down and make it happen. Get it done. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
All right, Ray Hall's in the house. Ray Hall Appraisals. Ray, I kind of teased a little bit before the break. As realtors, we're seeing days on market increase. We're seeing inventory slightly increase as well. What are you seeing? What is that going to do to home values?
I've seen the same thing. I've seen that median days on market starting to grow, increase a little bit, but I haven't seen that price drop yet. Again, maybe in some areas I've seen, maybe a decline of, less than 1%.
Certain pockets.
Right, which is minimal.
Yeah.
I've seen areas that showed a little bit of an increase, things like that. So in my opinion, over the grand scheme of the whole market, we're still holding values pretty stable.
Yeah.
I know people keep telling me, oh, no, they're coming down, they're dropping, they're this, they're that. And, I mean, I have regression analysis and all sorts of goodies that I put in a report that's telling me otherwise.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to say I'm wrong, I'd be interested to see your numbers and see how you're coming up with it.
Yeah.
Because when we do an appraisal, our analysis is down to a specific small little market area, a little pocket.
Right.
I'm talking a main roadway to the north, the south, east, west. What's that little pocket doing?
Yep.
And I just haven't seen those large declines yet. So, back, a few years ago when everything was selling within 7 days, we both know that's not a normal market.
Right.
That's not a normal marketing time. A normal marketing time is it's listed. People come in, people look at it, people make decisions. People don't usually impulse buy a house, but that's what we went through after COVID.
What an unbelievably weird time, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
They're locking people down. They're saying you can't go to work unless you get this experimental. Never mind. And then, so just a weird time. So people are flocking to Florida in numbers, but they're still coming. Rumor is still around 1,000 people a day still coming to Florida.
I'm still, people ask me, so are you mainly just doing, kind of purchases, refinances? I say I'm doing a lot of everything these days. A lot of people are still buying, even though, rates are higher than they were. Now, I'm not saying rates are high. I'm saying they're higher than they were.
Right.
And same thing with refis. Sometimes it just makes financial sense to go ahead and take out some cash for a reason, to refinance that loan for a certain reason. Whatever you need that debt for, it just makes sense. So we're still, business has picked up. We were slow last year. It's coming back around. So I haven't seen any negative impacts on the real estate market yet, and I haven't seen anything to make me think that, we're going to have any kind of significant decline like last time. I know everybody loves to say, "Oh, we're heading for another crash," based on what?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Here's an interesting clip I came across too on another podcast, and then I'll get your
sure. The little guy to what did you say? Blackstone is the little guy to Black.
Little brother.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is Larry Fink's net worth?
Probably not as much as
exactly.
Steven Schwartz.
Larry Fink, BlackRock, is worth $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
Steven Schwartzman, Blackstone, is worth $39 billion.
Touche. But if you go by
so when you look at that, though, so my point there, just a couple minutes left, but real quickly, are you seeing these big hedge fund buyers, and they'll buy it in different entity names, they'll do the red herring approach,
right?
But with that said, with the Blackstone, BlackRock, these different companies, are you seeing a lot of hedge fund buyers still?
To be honest, it's not something that ever comes into my arena because they're not getting mortgages.
That's right.
They're not getting appraisals.
They're throwing cash around.
They're throwing cash around.
But you'd see them as a comp, maybe.
I might see them in a comparable.
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed it too prevalent. I think a lot of times they're going maybe after the larger multifamily that generate the income.
Probably now they shifted.
Yeah.
But they were buying up single families back in the day.
Back in the day. But no, we're just seeing a lot of new buyers out there.
I want to get to a couple points in just a quick time.
Absolutely.
Prepare for an appraisal as a homeowner. What do I need to do?
My advice is always straighten up the house, make it look, even though your stuff doesn't really count towards the appraisal, make it look organized, and always make it smell good.
There you go.
Smell is what really impacts me.
Yeah.
Make it smell nice, light some candles, make it a pleasant experience for the appraiser to go through. Even though that stuff is not really, part of the valuation, we're still human, and you wanna work on our senses too.
Yeah.
Treat that appraiser like you're trying to sell him your house.
I like it.
But don't follow him everywhere and tell him what every room is because we know what the bathroom is.
Yeah, good. There you go. Hey, the one with the sink and the stove, that's the kitchen, right?
That happens all the time.
We got a final thought here too. Is you do owners use appraisals as well? Tell us about that.
Absolutely, yes. If you just need an appraisal to find out, hey, you just want to know what your house what you could sell it for, or maybe you want to know if you should do some updates to it, we can do an owner's use appraisal. It's a restricted use, $200. We don't even need to do an inspection. And you'll have the actual opinion of value with my signature on it. And like I said, it's only $200. That's half the price of a regular appraisal.
Yeah, that's awesome. Get an accurate value from an appraiser. You can't use it for negotiations, but it's called an owner's use appraisal. Ray Hall Appraisals, offering that to our audience. 727-263-3707. Call or text the show hotline. It's an off-air number. You can call or text it, 727-263-3707. Get that appraisal from Ray Hall Appraisals. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me. Always fun.
Yes, sir. All right. Hey, another great show. We had our friends from GTE Financial, of course, Ray Hall Appraisals, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.